So as you can tell, we're back downstairs and we're about to film another video with the a40 farina. Today our goals are to hopefully get the dash out, and if we can get that, do small things around the car, like possibly pull out the other headlight, maybe the tail lights, and just get general small stuff out. And once we get that out, we can hopefully start cleaning out the shed tomorrow. Our plan is to hopefully get a will it start video in by the end of the weekend, and then once that's done, we can get the motor ripped out, rip the motor out and get it all ready to be sandblasted. Once we get it all ready to be sandblasted, we'll start doing other stuff like cleaning off all the chromes, getting the chromes re-chromed, things like that. Just small things from there till we get this blasting finished. Once sandblasting's finished, we're going to do all the metal work that we need to do, then get the interior done and hopefully get either a new motor for it or get this one rebuilt. If we get a new motor, you'll see the whole process of how we've mocked it up and put it in and everything like that. If we get it rebuilt, we'll possibly send it to someone to get it rebuilt, so you won't be able to see the footage from that, but hopefully we can get it. So we'll pull out the car now. I'll set you up where you were set up yesterday and give you another time lapse of me pulling everything out again, and we'll get to it. Guys, we're back after getting the car out. I'll just give you guys a quick recap of what we did in yesterday's video. So yesterday's video, we've pulled out the rear door cards. It took us a bit to get the passenger side out because of that bolt, if you guys remember. I couldn't get it from the front side, I couldn't get it from the back side, I had to drill it out. The day before that, we had all the interior pulled out, and as I said in today's video, we've got to try and get this dash out because it's full of rust and it needs to be remade. And so there's a few screws in that underneath the dash that we need to get out. And we've got the ones on the front of the dash out, front side of the dash out. We just need to get the ones behind the dash panel. And once we do that, we can get the car dash out and we'll be one step closer to getting the car finished for sandblasting and ready to get the rest of it apart. So I'll put you guys back on a stand, or I'll put you guys on a stand or something, and I'll show you, climb in the car and show you what the screws and that I need to get out of, and we'll get to that. So guys, we're back in the a40, and the screws that I was talking about that we need to get out to get the dash out are under here. So they're in a bit of a pain of a spot. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one just here behind that bar just there. There's another one down there and one down the other end as well. So we need to get those 3 screws out in order to get this dash out, but I'm not sure if we can get the screws out because they're in a pain of a spot and they're a bit old. They look fairly rusty and we may not be able to get them out, so we may have to try and either drill them out or try and pull the face of the dash off, which does include pulling out all the gauges and all that. But we may be able to get it without pulling the face of the dash off. But if we can't, we'll try and work out how the face of the dash is held in, and we'll pull it out, drop the steering column, pull the face of the dash out, and then pull the top of the dash out, and hopefully we can get it that way. Alright, so get you in a good spot to see that while I attempt that. I'll find my Phillips head screwdriver again and we'll get that going. I'll put you through a time lapse for this bit as well, so hopefully you can get a good angle from this and get a good shot. And if you like the video, like, share and subscribe, and turn on post notifications. It just, the liking, sharing and subscribing just shows me that you don't mind the videos and that you want to see a bit more of this sort of stuff. As I said last video, the progress is going to slow down a fair bit after the 28th or 29th because I've got to go back to school, and I'm only at my dad's every fortnight, so the progress will slow down then, but hopefully we could still get it going. I'll try and get as many uploads a fortnight as I can so then you guys have something to watch still, but I may not be able to get them. Alright, so I'll put you guys on a stand or something so then you can just see those screws, and I'll get those screws out now. So guys, I couldn't get enough pressure on the back of those screws to try and get them to spin, so I think I may have to pull out this face of the dash just here, which means I have to pull off pull out the gauge cluster, either pull out the gauge cluster or unplug it, undo all of these little switches and that. I think I may have to try and take out these pull things for the choke and all that. I know I'll have to drop the steering wheel down to get it off as well, but hopefully I can get it out. If not, I don't know how I'm going to get this out. I may need to wait for my dad to get home to get a bit of help from him, but other than that it should come out pretty easy, so I hope I can get it out. If not, I'll wait till my dad gets home and we'll move on to something else, which then makes this video plan change a bit, but we'll work out something else to do and we'll start from there if I can't get this dash out. So I'll attempt to get it out now, and I'll still time lapse this, and I'll just attempt to get it out now for you guys so you guys can see how much of an effort it is to get this dash out. I don't know if you will be able to see it, and sorry about the background noise again. Next door neighbours are still doing stuff at their house, so we've got to try and work around that, and I'm trying to film this too, so we'll try and get that done. Once it's out, we'll try and get a better angle on those screws, and we'll try and pull them out as well. And once we get those screws out, that dash should just pull out pretty easy. So let's attempt this and see how far we go. So guys, like yesterday, it is pretty hot out here, and the screws in the bottom of the steering wheel that hold the steering wheel to the dash, they're a bit stripped. Like the head of them's worse than that one, and that one kept popping out, so we may need, so I'll wait till Dad gets home for those ones and I'll get him to help me with them. We'll move on to something else for now. I'll try and work out what we'll move on to. I think we'll move on to taking off the front and rear bar and the rest of the lights, and we'll finish taking out them. And once we do that, we might call it quits for the day, or we'll try and find something else to do on the car. And if we can't get any of that, if we can't get the rest of the lights out or get any of the bumpers off, we'll call it quits for the day today, and we'll just have a short video on how it failed pulling it out. Either that, or we might put we'll wire wheel the back tubs, and we'll run a wire wheel around there where all that wool stuff was yesterday, and we'll run it and make it so it's all nice and clean in there. And we'll do that. We might do that now, actually. That might be a better job for today. It's only a small job, and it's not that big of a job, which means it won't be that big of a video today, but we may be able to get a bigger video in later in the week when we go to pull out the dash. Or as I said, we may be doing a will it start video on the weekend. But because we don't have any spare batteries laying around for the cars, we've got to pull the battery out of my dad's Hilux, so otherwise we'd try and do that will it start video sooner, but I have to wait here for my dad to get home for us to do those videos. So we'll wait until the weekend for that one. Either that or Friday afternoon, because my dad finishes work a bit earlier. We may do it Friday afternoon. So depending on which day we do that, we'll do that. We'll try and get that video out before I go back to my mum's on Sunday afternoon to get ready for school. And we'll pretty much do as much as we can in the next couple days. One of the videos I'm looking forward to filming is pulling out the motor, because that will be one big learning experience with pulling out the motor, and we'll get that done pretty easily, I think, because it's not much to the motor. I'll show you guys. There's not much to the wiring on the motor because it's such an old car. Everything's pretty simplistic with all the wiring and things like that. So I'll show you guys the engine bay now, because it needs a fair bit of work as well. So I'll show you guys that. Oh, let's not lose that. I'll show you guys the engine bay now, because there's a fair bit of work that needs to be done to it, like I said. And once all that work's done to it, we can either try and get a new motor for it or try and rebuild this one. So this is the engine bay as it sits now. That's the old 949, I think it is. It's a little tiny motor, but as I said, there's not much to the wiring at all. Like, that's pretty much all the wiring around the motor. There's a wire that goes from where the battery is down to, I think it's the starter, and there's not much else. It's mostly things like vacuum lines and things like that, hoses, lines and all that. So it's pretty simplistic, so hopefully we can get it out pretty easy. If not, that may be a video for another day when we can get the whole thing out. If it's a 2-day video, it'll be a 2-day video, and we'll just combine the 2 days into one, and it may be a longer video. But other than that, it should be fairly easy to get it out. So hopefully we can get it out and get it all going good. But as I said, today we'll start on the wire wheeling these back tubs, because as you can see, there's all the fur stuff on it from yesterday. Same with that side. That side's a little better than this side, because that side I spent a little bit of time after the video scraping the rest of it with the scraper that we used to get it out, and then we'll leave the rest of it. We may pack it up after that. So it'll be a short day today. It may only be about an hour of working, 2 hours of working, but it will be hopefully around a 15-minute video, and we can get it out pretty easily. And today I'll time-lapse putting everything away, so then you can see how I put it all away as well, because I didn't do that yesterday because we had a storm coming, so I didn't want to get anything wet. So we left the GoPro upstairs for that and did it off camera. But it's pretty much the same as when we pull it out, just things go in different spots some days. So because I've pulled out the stuff that was in the front of the car, so this box with the quarter glass on it and that little seat thing, that box I think is the one with all the chromes in it. The other box is empty, and so this one I think has the chromes in one headlight, because the other headlight's still in the car. Yep, so this one has some chromes in a headlight. The other one I'm pretty sure is still empty, and we can use that one for possibly the quarter glasses and the door glasses, and hopefully we can get some more of those boxes soon. Like I said, we're doing this on a budget, so it's only a few bucks a week that we can use of spare money to buy things like tools and storage containers and things to store everything. So we'll get these, I'll stop yabbering on for a bit, and we'll get these back tubs wire wheeled. Alright, I'll see you after that, because I'll time lapse that for you, so then you don't have to sit there just watching me wire wheel for 20 minutes. And hopefully it will be a bit nicer to watch. Alright, see you guys after that time lapse, and I'll talk to you in a bit. So guys, as you can see, I've pulled out and wire-wheeled all of this stuff, the furry stuff that was here. And while I was at it, I thought I'd pull out the seam sealer, because the seam sealer from back in the day wasn't the best. And it wasn't really a seam sealer, it was more, as I've been told, it was more of a, what do you call it? It was more of a seam coverer, like protective, not a actual sealant. So it prevented the water coming in, but it didn't stop it. So I've done the same on this side. This side it's showing a bit more metal because there was a bit more flaky paint on this side. But I've done the seam sealer around this side as well, all the way up into here. The whole car needs to be cleaned out again, but I've done all of that. The sky's not looking the best, so I think I might try and pack this up soon so that I can still get you guys that shot before it pours down rain, because we don't have a real good case for this GoPro. It's just because we're using the GoPro Hero 7, we're just using the case that came with it, so we don't really have a good case for it. And that's the sky. It's real cloudy, and on camera it doesn't look as dark, but it's quite dark around here. So even though it's a nice little breeze that keeps coming through every now and then, I'll put everything back in the car and shut up the car, push the car back into the shed, pull down the gazebo and put it in front of the car again, and I'll still get you guys that shot because it's not raining just yet. If it starts to rain, I'll stop the video there and I'll go upstairs and do the outro there. But other than that, please like, share and subscribe. As I said earlier, this video, we may be getting it started on the weekend, possibly. So if we don't get it started on the weekend, it will be within the next couple weeks, because again, I go back to school next week, so the videos will slow down a fair bit then. And so now I'll stop jibber-jabbing and I'll pack the car up before the rain kicks in and I get all wet. I'll give you guys this time lapse as I put everything away properly, and we'll get it going. All right, like I said last video, go follow the Budget Build Guy on Instagram, and we'll have a playlist of all the videos that have come up that we've done so far at the end of the video after this time lapse. So guys, as you can tell, the rain started to come down now. It came down a lot quicker than what I thought. So that's why you guys got the shot inside the shed instead of outside. And I'd like to see you guys watch the next video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, please like, share and subscribe.